What up, though? This B-Boy Reg.
I'm DJ Butter, y'all.
And this Funky Fresh in the Flesh podcast.
In effect.
Yep.
Yeah, we live right now today with my homeboy from the Ave, Nefu Larock.
What up, though? It's my Detroit to say.
Yeah, Duke Larock, Nefu Larock is in the house tonight, y'all.
So while going to the Toronto homeboys, man, we I don't know if you want to discuss the new intros y'all starting to gonna do for the new season, man.
Yeah.
Y'all want me to just jump into it?
Yeah, go ahead.
He flow like 3-4, all natural. Only time they seeing sevens when they all crapping out. So it's rather evident I'm like the smartest rapper out. I get them L's like flyers the same way I pass them out. These lies ain't nothing to brag about. Consider retirement. Nephew spit fire, it's no dragging mouth. I spit flame and blow smoke, puffin' the dro. The Swift game the main reason they be cuffing they hoe. If they ain't hustling snow, then what you hustling for? That's why your tapes getting pissed on, no hustling flow. Even my mixtapes getting money, it's nothing with dough. The shit's funny, so I'm chuckling low key. Weak brothers, how they so weak, plus they come and they go. It's no need to speak dirty if I ain't done it before. I'm just blunted on the low. See, I got flow for days and they new jacks. Duke's been cracked since the golden age.
Man, dope, out cold, man. Y'all subscribe to our channel, man. Y'all see shit like that you can't fuck with. Duke Larock.
Yeah, I had to give him a old joint, man, because all the new shit is all freestyle, man.
Nigga CDs getting pissed on.
That's how you know it was older in the CD. But
I be picking up on bars, man. People think I
hear.
I still keep the CDs, though, man. Thank you for that, too, man.
You go left and right. You know, southpaw with the rap.
All the time. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you, because I know I'm older, but where the Larock part of your name, where did that come from?
You know, for the younger kids, you know, you got Scott Larock.
Right.
The first MC was Coke Larock. My mother's born in Detroit, born and raised. My father's Trinidadian. If you study hip hop, it's got like a mother and father too. One being from the West Indies, one being from America. So it's like me being from that same mixing. I needed a name. It took a long time. I went by K Dagger. I was influenced by Woo. I had all these I had a name that wasn't marketable, like Prowess. It's like that was a backpacker shit. So I had to pick Duke Larock because I'm hip hop. There's no way I could escape it, and I needed a name to always. So if you do the knowledge, you go from Duke Larock, you go with Scott Larock, and then you could go Coke Larock. You know what I'm saying? The first MC.
T Larock.
T Larock. Big up Def Jam first. Yeah, come on, man. Def Jam for sure. Yeah, man.
Man, talk about your musical influences growing up, man. You got a reggae twist.
Y'all say the ones I'm related to, or the ones you know what I'm saying, just listen to or grew up with, or
the ones that made you want to rap.
That made me want to rap.
Yeah.
Back to the golden age. I always say even if you listen to a newer cat, the real newer cats, like if I see a young cat like a Lil Pump, he's influenced by Wayne. Wayne was influenced by Tupac. It's the real hip hop got a tree. You know what I'm trying to say? So you could go to a new. It's niggas like when I listen to, you could still hear basically Big Daddy Kane inside of Jay-Z's where I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So I always refer to nothing, not to take from Melly Mel or anybody in the first generation of MCs or Run, but that golden era you couldn't touch. You had Slick Rick, Kane, G-Rap, Shan, LL, you know what I mean? So I feel like even though, you know, these new cats, they doing the drill and they do all this other stuff, I feel like you still got to kind of go back to that golden era to see what,
to that lineage.
It just, then everything spread it out from there.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But you know, actually, Run and LL kind of created swag.
Indeed.
They was the first ones to really have that braggadocio.
Right.
I'm the nigga type shit.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, that's dope. Yo, talk about so you mentioned Canada. We was talking about Canada earlier. So is it Toronto?
I'm really from all over, man. I get this question a lot. I was born in Cambridge, but raised nowhere in Canada for real. Like when I say not really raised there, like I went to a lot of different schools.
Right.
I pretty much, when I say not raised in Southern Ontario, because I've been so many different cities inside of there. I always say raised in Detroit. Yeah. That's where moms was stable at.
Okay.
So basically how I was born in Cambridge, and I went to a lot of schools in Kitchener when I was in grade school.
Okay.
By the time middle school and all that, I was in Detroit by then. My first elementary school in Detroit was Coleman A. Young. So I got to see, that whole Puritan movement.
Right.
When, some of the heavy hitters was doing their thing. And I was just a kid soaking up all that shit over there by the Frank's Auto Wash. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Guys like that. The outfit, Slow Smith and them guys was out. So big up Slow Smith.
Man, what was that like coming from Canada to coming right to PA? You know what I'm saying? Like, was it culture shock?
Big culture shock, man. We would, I didn't realize it till we would go back to Canada, and then the relatives, you got metal detectors in your school, and it's like we saying that they, some people do this with kids. They ask them indirect questions,
right?
And then the kid, I'm not thinking nothing of it. Like, yeah. So when I went to class, I had to get patted down at the metal detector. Whoa. Yeah. They scholastic system. It's a little different now in certain areas of Toronto where a lot of the gang activities goes down, but for the most part, man, it's a whole different scholastic system. I always say the Detroit public school more or less prepares you for institutionalization. Right. I dropped out at a time where it wasn't, now it's no choice but for kids to kind of, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like the options are more limited, you know what I mean? So I came out of a time where, if the security guard in your middle school building, that's prepping you for a CO. It's all in how, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Right. So a big culture shock to answer the question for sure.
Man, you was over there with your homeboy Ox from Belly, man. Y'all,
yes, sir.
Y'all was over there doing movies and stuff.
Oh, man. He would have killed Tubi right now. Wow. I think about every time I watch Tubi, I said if he was still here, God bless the dead Ox. Back on Canada, my father's side, they're from Trinidad. There was the first black family in a lot of cities over there. And a part of Cambridge, the town Hesper was one of them. But long story short, my cousins were DJs. My dad's first cousin, my second cousins. And Sonic Boom, my older cousin Derek, used to do dub plates with DJ Bowtie. DJ Bowtie, if you ever look at any of the old Shabba Rank, Sound Clashes, Super Cat, Bowtie's there on the turntables. And, Boom used to go to New York with Bowtie, Brooklyn, and used to cut dub plates with Ox. So when I met Ox, I didn't know why he was gravitating to me. So I might have said like my family's last name or something. And it was just nephew from right out there. He kept me out of a lot of trouble too. I met him on terms, but he would just, I go perform in Brampton. Come to Brampton. Me need a little something, but me gonna let you do a rap thing. I wish I could have a lot of the footage for some of these. I thought he'd always be here.
Yeah.
A legend like that, you don't never think past or nothing. So I wish I had more phones to take them. I remember one show we did. It was like all the OG reggae niggas there. You know what I mean? So he, long story short, I met Ox through family, and it's just when I was ready to do my own thing. My cousins were impressed because they're like, "Yo, you doing stuff with Louie now?" I was like, I didn't have to ask my cousins help for that. They was impressed to see that I was doing my own thing. So that's my guys.
Dope to see him in Louie Rankin and DJ Khaled videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. But that's why I wish we was on better terms. I'm here. This is why I came to see y'all boys, is to drink some coffee, talk hip hop, and relax, because I work so much. I never really get to tell my story. But prior to him passing, we was on good terms. The last phone call I got was from him and his wife. Julie called me and told me he was going to be performing in Windsor with Currency. Currency loves Ox. I heard Ox and Countless Currency records. So he finally was going to collab with him. And I went probably 3 years not really talking to him because I was like, well, why you ain't take me to the Khaled video, man? I'm telling him, I'm having a conversation with him. Butter got the Bodie album at the time.
Yeah.
He got the Art of Rock Climbing coming out with Mass Appeal. You should do something with Nas.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when I see it was Khaled, he had Ox and Nas under his shoulder, I'm just like, I kind of wanted to A&R that, but I didn't really speak. It's not that I didn't really speak to him prior to my last phone call. It was just kind of like I was working on so much other stuff.
Right.
That, okay, well, you off ready to do your thing, your comeback's ready. I did what I had to do. I had the honor of introducing him to Snoop. They got the kick in Canada a couple times where I was still be in Detroit, and then Snoop, you know what I'm saying? So they remained friends after being introduced. That was the All-Star game.
So you introduced them to each other?
Never thought the niggas worked with each other.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because he's the Snoop is the uncle of the West. Ox he's a similar figure in the West Indian community. Right. Everybody love him. Like everybody loves Snoop. It's a no-brainer. Right. So I was learning. I was in college at the time. And before I could even invite him to the Snoop Dogg game, he just was like, he called me middle of the night, yo, take me to see Snoop Dogg. I was like, okay, Ox, I got VIP passes I was gonna offer you. But I already put before all this podcasting got saturated, people got to remember Snoop had the only podcast kind of GG. So I was it went from Georgia Angelos to somebody else I was emailing, but big up to Georgia Angelos, Mary Jane Media. I was like, yeah, I got the perfect guest for y'all. So for the picture they took together to go viral weeks later, I think I may have told Ox's wife I already put an email out there to his PR team and Cashmere Agency. They transformed. I knew a lot of people from Cashmere Agency playing dudes with the pound, but then when they shifted over to Mary Jane Media, I was learning new CEOs and so I already had an email floating. So it made me look good to say, yo, I already got it in motion for y'all. This is the guest. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I represent them though. I like that y'all. It started off this interview with Ox. That's my guy right there.
Shout out to Ox.
Help me pay a lot of dues. Big up. Rest in peace.
Man, shout out to you for having to rock my t-shirt.
But it was that's what I'm saying. Like me paying, I was going, so what I did with that promo run, like, ladies and gentlemen, this brother right here, both of these guys are involved because of Crazy Noise Productions, but this brother personally gave me a Canadian marketing job because it was something I was already doing as a teenager. Right. Before everybody had internet on their phones, I'm taking exclusive DJ Butter tapes to Canada because that's what my cousins was. Eminem and D12 had that buzz going at one point, so Detroit was even more in demand as they always been, but that shifted it. So when I'm a 13-year-old giving my 20-year-old cousins exclusive Detroit albums, like I'm giving this nigga Kill the DJ and all them joints, like for real. You understand? So when I did the piece of the action run with you, that's when I reached out to Butter. I was in Canada, and he blessed me with a basically I was marketing personnel for Canada. And to give Ox a piece of the action, we was going, even the funniest story, I was in the mansion with my biker homeboys. I ain't gonna say no names to protect the industry. But when I was in the mansion, I'm like, oh, we need to do that scene with Ox, Ox, I need that. You know what I mean? So, but we never got to film it. But that was the point of me giving him the piece of the action album. And, he had the pictures on the Instagram, big up Detroit. And, you know what I mean? That's why I could always jump into his character because I was right there. Like, it was, that was a T.I. concert. I blessed him with that T-shirt because him and Tip was still cool. Tip was in Guelph, Ontario. Yo, come out to see me. We need some smoke, nephew. Send me out. I can only say this because he's not here with us. Send me some smoke, man. And then I had the DJ Butter T-shirt. I blessed him with the piece of action that came out. Blessed him with the vinyl,
perfectly,
the tape. But he saw that tape. He said, "Yo, this not Run DMC, man." I said, "No, Ox, no. Just hold it up. It's all marketing. We can give it this Instagram." All right. And then look, then he was an Instagram figure when the Raptors became, started doing their thing in the playoffs and became champions the one particular year shortly after. But it was just showing them, yo, it's the internet. This, he was on the verge of a big comeback, man. Big on I can't get off the subject of my guy. That's my man, man. I miss him.
He passed away in a car accident or something.
He passed away, and when I after that, it prepared me. See, I was able to grieve with pandemic so much because people were just losing people left and right. I just knew what time it was after that. That was 2019. So after that, I just stopped taking people for granted. And, I got cool with Daz. We got cool by the pandemic because I ain't going to say, me and Ox was on bad terms for a while. Well, damn, them years that we wasn't on the phone, I should have got more shit in motion. Yeah. So I reached out to Daz in like 2020 because I seen how people was just going. I said, well, this is the culture. These legends, you know what I'm saying? Then look how it was the 1 year with so many legends. DMX, Black Rob, all these guys was passing. So it was like, that was, sometimes you lose. It's like how people believe in Jesus. He took a sacrifice, he passed to show people this and that. So it's different when you lose somebody. I try to tell people grieve. You just got to look at the purpose they was in your life. And he well served his purpose. He helped me pay my dues. He had a Canadian gangster movie he never released. I hope Khaled or somebody pick it up. But he had Ice City the 6. And this is another thing about him too to big him up even more. He did it. He paid me to show up, so I had money for college. I just went to college for engineering. Wow. That's how I got the plug on the Snoop game. They had to use their equipment for the sounds for the celebrity game, So I already had the ups. I was plugged in for the event. Right. So when I did the movie, that was I wish he had pushed it out, but he just did that just to put some money in my pocket for school. Yeah. Wow. Everybody gangster, because a nigga shooting all gangsters when you. Right. I'm okay. When the first show when he took me in, when he saw me perform by myself and he took me under his wing was because I left the probation building. And I went straight to get my some beef patties from a Jamaican restaurant. Big up to the Ivy family. I go see the Ivies. I get a beef patty. I see my homegirl Maureen, who's a big reggae promoter out there. Her and her husband. So Detroit, we need you to do some. There's a couple of rappers, but we need something positive. We don't want no street rap. We just want something. And I had a record. This is not even know Ox was gonna be there. Law of Attraction. That's all I know was meant that. Nigga, I rapped. Oh, the positive message I had was over that D'Angelo Devil's Pie.
Damn.
From the Belly movie, my nigga. So no wonder I'm rapping on a beat he familiar with.
Right.
And then so much trouble in the world. It's never peace is the solution. The revolution won't be televised. Still in the streets, but I try to beg alive. So many brothers died for a slice of it. And then you can hear D'Angelo. Yeah, man. So it was just one of those things. It was meant to happen, man. It's like me collabing with DJ Butter was supposed to happen because he gave me my first mixtape.
Right.
You understand? I got my first mixtape ever in Detroit. You want to talk about culture shock? My first mixtape ever, living as a kid in Detroit, was a DJ Butter mixtape, 1998. Right. My god brother's best friends with Wesley Valentine.
Damn. Some
shit you just can't. It's just meant to happen.
Right.
You can't run from. You understand?
You know, a lot of people say first mixtape with DJ Butter.
Listen. Not to take from Clue. Reds, man. Not to take from Clue and them guys, man. When you talk about, see, this is where I give you your props. Other than the 12, and I appreciate this 12. Big up DJ Los, happy belated.
Yeah.
Shouts out DJ Dez. This 12 Tech Mob joint right here, Lynn Swan, Daddy Riff. This joint right here means a lot to me because whether it's other than 12 Tech Mob, I'm trying to make sure I say it right. There was really no DJ crews like that. When you go to New York, you got the Tape Kings. You had before it was the Heavy Hitters. What was the other crew? You know, you got Clue, Flex, Doo Wop, Big Up Tony Touch and all them guys. But it's like they already. So when you come to Detroit, some of the first Shady Aftermath joints, this brother had the honor of giving to the world. This is where the internet was kind of there, but this was no internet on your phone. This was the internet didn't dictate hip hop. It was the gatekeepers and it was the people who made culture.
Right.
Yeah, you know, starting off the magazine, Funky Fresh in the Flesh, early, we used to get promo copies. So
true indeed.
You know, we put it on the mixtapes, and then I'd go see 12 Tech Mob, and they helped me sell my mixtapes.
Word.
You know, it was a good time.
But it ain't like
you know what was genius about that whole movement was like it wasn't a lot of it was DJs that was mixing in Detroit and selling mixtapes, but it was all like booty music and dance music.
Yeah.
It was very few people, if anybody else other than Butter, that was putting on
the actual and that was another thing. So if you had a clue freestyle, that could start your whole career. Butter actually had the actual people who built Detroit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to stumble into no clickbait or nothing like that, but you know, you got just your brotherhood with guys like Royce Proof, etc. You got exclusive freestyles from your crib. So if you got Clue, if we didn't have this was our, not to say you your own man, you your own identity, but that was one of the, we didn't have our own Clue like that. You had the DJs if they were into rap, they weren't making mixtapes.
Right.
So big up, you know what I mean?
I mean, it was just different. I mean, you know, the record stores, it was new to everybody. It was new.
Word.
You know,
Dance with Melody, man, you gonna have to, this is gonna be one of them edits right here too, man. But nigga, not Harmony Music. What's that record store they always talk about? The house guys always talk about. They used to see Dez up there on the Faithful.
Buy Right or something.
Buy Right.
Yeah.
That's where you can cut. That's what you know what I'm saying. But Dez with Buy Right Records, etc. You know what I mean? Like it was nobody really on the forefront. The exclusives. That's what I'm saying. That's what dictated the movement and the exclusives and all that, etc. That's what made the culture what. We didn't. Okay, you couldn't just make a TikTok off your phone and then a billion people.
Exactly.
Yeah, you had to beat up the streets, man.
You had to, you know what I'm saying? They got that credibility too, man, for sure. Like, you know, even the movements inside of the you know, King Stuck and all these guys, man, like their movements and you understand? Like it meant something when a Rock Bottom, that movement they had, the Cheddar Boys had that movement. So, you know, I wish there were more. I'm glad we did have Butter because I wish there was more DJs who could do the gangster grills how they did for Jeezy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Etc. I wish we had, because there was a lot of there was a certain Detroit wave that people caught on, but there was a wave that they, like, if they had just seen that clash right before the Dej Loaf and the Tri-Me's and all that, there was a time where East and West, I remember, hell of a had to bring these guys together because Wipeout and Blade. So East and West wasn't doing songs for a long time, and then you had the Made West, Hot Lava.
Yeah.
I wish the world got to see that era prior to a Dej Loaf, prior to a Dex Osama. They start catching on T Grizzly, Dex Osama, Dej Loaf. Now they Babyface Raid Out, Vezo, and I love it. But I wish they had just caught that window.
Man, that's what our podcast show is for.
For sure.
We need all the homies on there, man. East and West, for real. You know, I support all of those guys on my mix shows.
Word up. You played my joint on the mix, so I appreciate that too, man. We got the In My Backpack coming up.
Man, talk about your cat.
Do I tell them the real story about the backpack? Do I tell them the true story? Man, I would. It just took a life of itself. Butter was in town. Respect. Butter was in town, and I said, well, I can't really do the Dilla project like I want to because it was a lot of legalities, etc. So I says, well, let me just do a backpack rappers. You know, everybody say I rap like a backpack. Let me just do a backpack. Right. And then, you know what I mean? I was in my backpack. So I said, well, that's the name of the project right there. So I'm in my bag. I went to...
it's off the hook, y'all. Like my phone right now.
Do I tell them about Tone?
Yeah, we brought my Duke's husband up in there and listened to the word.
Yeah, that's what made it take off because when I say in my bag, so boom, I had, for example, in this backpack I was traveling with and taking to work with me, I would have a Bodie James tickets that a DJ Butter show was doing while he was in town. So when I ran into Tony at the Bodie show, big up to my guy Bodie, I would see Tony, I say, dude, I can sing you these songs, but if you come to the lab and you really hear what I'm working on, you could get a feel of where we going with it. You understand? And he gave me his word, showed up with Butter that next day. And I'm not, what it is, I was just rapping and showing him what I had because I'm thinking he gonna at least just email me something later. I did not expect him to go to a podcast while I went to work.
We promoted it right there.
Wow, he took off on his own, man. You don't get rappers, MCs. You get rappers that's hot on the viral, but you don't get true MCs like that no more. Like who could rap. Like I did a Redman on niggas my first run in the game. I went from the crowd of the Outlaws to building with them on stage to actually going on wax. I like some of these new kids on the phone, but I don't get that same. Yeah, it's a different type of. I miss when you had to put an EPK together to promote yourself as an artist. Now I take these same tactics as an A&R and give light to my artists, but I miss a time where it was true talent and you really had to really. You know what I'm saying? You had to really pay your dues. You know, Tupac had it. When I toured with the Outlaws as a young cat, I like that. I told Edie on the phone the next day, I said, bro, I felt like how your man's Tupac used to had to dance on the Humpty show.
Right.
Because I didn't get it at first. He like, I want you to come crip walk on the Nate Dogg shit. I'm like, man, I want to rap. I remember I hit them all. They was passing the microphone for Hit 'em Up one show. We in Calgary. And they passing the mic around and I'm like, oh, this is my time to... So I got the mic, big homie, like, bro, you gotta relax. No, true story. Like, this is, I can say, because, you know, even that these young cats don't have that mentorship no more. Right. So I can say this from a place of honesty and a place of the true story, you know. Right. But he said, little bro, you gotta relax. Because I was ready to, instead of people how we do it, penitentiary, I was ready to kick this shit off the Outlaws mixtape, you feel me? Right. So he's like, Def, you gotta relax. But the whole point, when I thought about it, I say, damn. I got the crip walk on the motherfucking Nate Dogg tribute. I said, I get it. Right. I said, big homie, I feel like how Pac had to dance for Hump, for Shock G, rest in peace.
It's paying your dues.
Man.
You gotta humble yourself.
Rest in peace to Ronnie Ray from Run DMC.
Run DMC, for sure. Big up Supreme Team. Big up Hollis Crew.
Man, Ronnie Ray used to
I had to be their roadie, you understand?
From around the way.
From around the way. Hollis Crew. True indeed.
That was dope.
Yeah, man, I got what other true stories y'all boys want, man? I can't be giving them to, man. I got all the true rap. I just don't want to clickbait nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I got all true rap stories, and that's what. So for Tony to see that day, Butter brought him through. I basically tripped. My Butter went to go get these turntables. Right. I'm freestyling everything that happened in the room. So by the time Butter come back, he got 2 DJ tributes. Cause I even missed the mixtapes where before Red Alert show, when I was getting pause tapes from my uncles and they friends,
right,
you used to get these pause tapes and you would hear Red Alert in the beginning.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But there would be exclusive freestyles where they bigging up Red Alert before the show. And so I was like, well, Butter Gone, I finally got to do a dedication record to him, but just to break down some history. Right. And then while Tony there, I'm like, let him hear this one beat. I told my engineer, this how off the top of the dome it was. I told 1,000, big up to my producer 1,000, my engineer. Big up the whole Hustlem crew. I say, yo, 1,000, play Dilla 15. I'm talking about a Pro Tools session though. He goes to Dilla 15 on YouTube, and Tony was like, already got the rights to that. But it was like an accident on purpose. So I'm like, okay, well, since I already done bigged up one DJ, let me make a song about DJ culturing.
Right.
You understand? So by the time Butter talk, all he gotta do, by the time Butter he came in, he don't gotta talk. He could just talk with his hands. The hook was I let the beat breathe, let the DJ talk with his hands. Tony was so amped when I finally saw the podcast.
Wait, so he was sitting in the studio all this time? Damn.
So I'm just trying to get an answer back from him.
Right.
Hey, I'm just trying to get an email from him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He came and just build with you through the whole session.
Yep, shout out to the J Dilla Foundation.
Big up to the whole Yancey family, Frank and Dank, my guys. You know, as far as Canada, I was a proud cat being in Canada, and they was out there doing their thing. So I'm a guy that got I got more true rap stories. Nigga, Bach 10 when I was 13, the nigga held his arm around me and said he won the battle. Serving in middle school, you understand? Yo, and then look, this how mind blowing this shit was. This why I had to plead my case to Tony. I'm like, yo, when you could see, it was a Black History Month. They had a Black History program in school, and the sisters that ran it was they was Earths. They was from the nation. I wasn't even into the teachings like that, but they was like, yeah, for Black History Month, we want you to just come introduce some people. I'm like, oh, okay, because we did a field trip, and then we in a little rec room with them. So the rest of the day is off. So they see me battling freestyle. You nice. We need you to introduce somebody. I'm like, all right, whatever. Right. They did a program every lunch hour. Right. The first day was Dwele. And I'm saying, yeah, guys, this is Ndwele. I still sound like a Canadian, all proper and shit. This is Ndwele Gardner. This motherfucking Dwele. In the guest outfit. That's what niggas was wearing the guest. Bach 10 was the second day.
Wait, that was here.
This was 2000, Detroit, 2000. Okay. This is 2000. Damn. So this why I'm saying nothing against newer artists that's rapping on Dilla, but what better? I'm saying I got to hear Frank and Dank in Canada. Right. Yeah, that's how proud I was. They on all the Canadian platforms at the time. Much music.
They have billboards.
You understand? So I just like to be an ambassador for Detroit. See, I didn't. Big up to, no disrespect to other Canadian artists that's putting on. There was one I didn't like for a particular time, buddy, you know, personally. But now he's my personal favorite. But big up to him because he helped put Canada on the map. Right. I was in Canada trying to put Detroit on the map. You understand?
You mean Michi didn't do it?
Michi helped. Michi Carter now, I try to tell people all the time, even Canada got a history before a certain Canadian. Yeah. But they put it on the map. They didn't quite do it like him, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? So nothing against Maestro Fresh West, nothing against the Dream Warriors. But he even had to address it. Like, they used to make fun. I address it all the time. They used to make fun of Canadians.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they didn't, when Carter now was hitting them with they didn't understand the man them slang.
Yeah.
You know? So it was like, it's really hard to even market it. So somebody was like, well, I'm with the #1 rapper at the time. I'm a pop person. I'm an actor. Boom. He just knew how to translate it, in it, you know, understand? So it's all good, you know.
Yeah,
but
we went out there in 2000. I promoted Kill the DJ, man. We rode around with the posters on the car.
Man, the press niggas had promo vans.
Yeah, we went out to all the record stores out there.
Man, big up, Play the Record and all of them. Yeah, it was. You had to.
Modeled some of Caracana clothes out there, all types of stuff.
Hip hop was weird, bro. They used to get, when I was a kid, I used to love coming to visit Detroit before we moved because our Rap City was only 30 minutes. US is 2 hours. Right. They Rap City with Big Tig and Les was 2 hours. Over there was like 30 minutes. Damn. And then some hardcore death metal rock shit could come on and
much music.
Much Music was one of the main music platforms out there. You understand? So I come to Detroit and it's 2 hours of like they would get music a year later sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was what the same before I was a teenager rapping over there. The same parents that used to tell their kids rappers crap was the same teenage girls digging my music Yeah, like it was that real. Like when I come back as a young, you know what I'm saying? I was like a Bow Wow, so to speak. It was no internet still. I'm 13, 14 on stage, my nigga, rapping Detroit. But the parents that I saw when I was over there in the younger years, rap is crap. I used to, my teacher thought I was dyslexic because I wore my pants backwards. I was rapping crisscross, you understand? So hip hop was so... Nigga, Jack Frost, I was hoping he was going to say something when he linked up with Maestro Fresh West out there in Cat. They love Detroit.
Wow.
You understand? So I was watched that. That was a dope interview, by the way, fellas. But I watched it and said, what are we going to talk about? So,
damn, shout out to Jack Frost, Maestro Fresh West, everybody.
Yeah, I can give y'all the whole rundown, man. I done went everywhere with the interview, man. But whatever, whatever.
Hey, let me ask you this. Was there any MCs in Canada that you was like, they got it, but for whatever reason, they just didn't cut through?
Oh man, countless. It was also, again, I could give so many big ups, man. Infinite, for example, he was from Ghetto Concept. They were one of the first actual groups. They had a little static with Duck Down back in the day.
Yeah.
Because Duck Down was bringing that Jamaican flavor, but Rexdale's, he was Jamaican community. Big up to Infinite. We worked on with Ox together.
Okay.
Right, but Infinite is one example of many because it was a whole, even prime example. I didn't realize my own legendship until I went to it. Trina had a show in Canada. She had it at the government. And my boys from Rexdale, they took me over there. And I remember CO was a hype man. CO from Slip and Slide. I was thought, okay, Trina on the charts with the sit. It's like 2008. She on the charts again with Single again. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's CO from Slip and Slide. Okay, they still like, whoa. So to open up was Big Page. I'm So Fly. I didn't realize my own legend. I'm going to Carabana rapping as a teenager. Big Page is up, and he has something to say about y'all mans from Canada. He has something to say. Oh yeah, mans do this and that, and they don't want to show up to the shows, eh? But prior to that, his mans was staring me down. So I bigged up Page. Page was staring me down because I bigged up his mans. His mans was dressed like Bishop. I completely got he had on a burgundy joint with the denim, right? So I said, I just make him laugh and shit, you know what I mean? So but Paige was staring at me and I ain't want no static because my Rexdale niggas is right there. But he goes, you look familiar. And I said, bro, I didn't realize till years later what he meant. I said to him, I told Big Page, Drake was just on this hook at the time. I said, Big Page, your song is doing this thing right now on 93.5. I said, I hear your song every day at work. Real recognize real. All I can say was real recognize real. Because he's saying, you look, and he kept staring at me, you look familiar. What it is, he used to see me freestyling in Carabana. When niggas was still on the Grassy High shit, I was outside over there.
Right.
But I'm not realizing my own legend while you look.
Right.
And he got the #1 record in Canada, and Drake was just the hook guy at the time. Big up the Big Page.
Wow.
Drake did a remix. That's why he said, I got to do the whole song, because he was just on the hook. And then he did like a 2-3 verses on one of his first albums or whatever. He did a remix to that. You know what I mean? But I was there, bro. I can give you the whole Canadian history, my guy.
Yeah, I went to Carabana out there with, I don't know if you remember Puppet. He was out there, OG guy, him and Jamaican Bandit from Detroit had a
I remember Jamaican.
Word.
Yeah, rest in peace, Jamaican Bandit.
Yeah, I went to Carabana, a whole different reason. I had some fun.
But see, for hip hop, because even though it was the Caribbean urban, it still was a hip hop undertone because like with Brooklyn, Jamaican, Trinidadian, same for Toronto. So that hip hop, just as far as it's countless MCs in Detroit. I wish that was Toronto that I wish got to see the just the writing.
Was Choclair out there?
Choclair, for example. Choclair, I'll give you a good Carabana story on him. I remember when his first promo run was he had an album, and I just remember the cover was all him sitting in the throne of Isis. It almost looked like Prodigy a little bit. But for Carabana, what he did was he had his promo was some freezies, like the popsicle. Yeah. But the mixtape, the name of the album was on the popsicle, and he passed it out to all the ladies. Yeah. Choclair was, I think he wasn't signed to Priority, but one of his songs was on that 3 Strikes soundtrack in 2000. Okay. And that Carabana, whatever album that also was on of his was...
I think he did have a deal with Priority.
I want to say it was with Priority, man. But they, Cardinal, before Akon, one of his first deals was like 2001. He didn't... And the commercial track with Akon wasn't really till 2008. Right. But in my heart, he was already... I remember my cousins even kind of making fun of him on his side. Because they're like, what is he trying to say in the slang?
Right.
One of his first singles, 2001. You know, like a lot of people did. Maestro Fresh West in the 90s he used to do shows with Rakim, etc. You know what I mean?
He used to get love over here.
Mishi Me and MC Shan. That's really how MC Shan, you know, him with Snow, with Informer and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Transpired. Right. But, you know, they always was down with Toronto and New York got a similar culture. They always had a similar... Yeah. Yes, sir. Man, it's probably time for me to go back over there. I miss being over there so bad, man. It's been a while, man. We gotta do a Detroit All-Star show out there or something, man. We take the Dilla Cats.
On the road.
Yeah.
Funky Fresh in Toronto.
Woo.
Hey, man, talk about, give us one album that you cherish, that you got one choice to go on one island, you know, and that's all you have.
It can be hip hop or R&B,
or that's deep, man.
Or it can be reggae, dance hard.
Yeah, I got to group around so much music, man. But man, this actually kind of deep though, man. Tony Touch bigged me up on Instagram for this. If I had to really think about it, only because, and this is normally my answer would be something golden era, Slick Rick, Great Adventures. You know, or if you say R&B, I would say Off the Wall, Michael Jackson. Something I could always hear. That's my cleanup album. Something I could hear over and over. Yeah. You can study how to make a classic album off shit like that. But I only say Tony Touch when I saw his anniversary for his album, The Peacemaker. I got to learn about engineering through that. I learned about Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I learned about now as an adult when I got to listen to it with adult ears, where I say I could listen to it.
The first album.
None of his 50 MCs mixtapes, none of Tony Touch's mixtapes.
Peacemaker on Tommy Boy.
The Tommy Boy Peacemaker, because for every song, I didn't get the concept till an adult. Every song, he got all the best crews on there. He got Native Tongues. Yeah. He did a De La Soul with the most. God bless Dave from De La Soul. True Boy to the. He had the Wu Banger on there. He had one of the only solos is Royce, but he got Eminem and Bizarre.
Those Get Back.
On that Get Back. You was in that session.
No, actually, I went to they had me come out and do the promo video. Eminem.
What? They never put that out?
Eminem Proof and Bizarre did the promo video for Tony Touch.
See, I know the connection.
Back then.
That's a big record, man. That was on one of... Man, let me tell you, I only say Tony Touch album because he had a Golden Age record on there. It's KRS Kane, and it was so much lyricism. He had to
put together.
Yeah, it was well put together. I only say that because if it's something you can't get tired of, I can listen to that album just as much as Off the Wall.
Right.
That's dope. That's or look, if I really was specific, I would say that first Guy or that BBD album.
All right.
Them was classic joints. That first that self-titled Guy.
Yeah.
Classic joint. Right. That's what made BBD Poison album so great, because that was such a classic.
Yeah, it was that mix.
The hip hop.
They took Guy and made it a little bit more hip hop.
Then the BBD just said, "Well, y'all taking off, nigga, the first Teddy Riley demos and singles. They was kind of trying to be like New Edition anyway, so it was still that." Yeah. So
hey, let me ask you this though. So I always give people this: top 3 MCs.
Off the top,
yep.
I gotta go back to that golden age, man. Rakim, King, Slick Rick.
Oh, okay.
Cause I got nigga Wu-Tang eat up. Answer. Right. Yeah, Wu-Tang eat up. Yo, 9. That's 9 niggas that can rap.
Right.
Queensbridge got. I got my own top 3 of Queensbridge. Omega Nas and Lakey the Kid, or you know what I'm saying. You can't never really narrow. If I had to really narrow it down, that's back to what I said about the golden age. You got King, Slick Rick, and Rakim. Like you got. See why I say them? Because I started writing as an MC when Nas and Jay, and I didn't know this as an adult. They were like a baby Rakim and Kane.
Yeah.
You understand?
Cool G rap. No, Cool G rap.
Well, you know, Cool G was taking them to shop as demo and all, you know what I mean? So as I get older, I see Cool G rap on influence on Punisher. I see his influence on Big L. You know, but the thing about why I say Rakim, Kane, Slick Rick. Kane got Biggie and Jay directly. Yeah. You got the best MCs to ever do it. You are their direct mentor of them. Right. You know what I mean? It's footage of Kane with Positive K with he got his high top and you understand? Yeah. So you could birth a Fabulous because of that Brooklyn shit talk. Or you could Nas was basically like Rod and Kane got they little spit if I haven't hit him, I dig him, I never dug him. He's follow the league, then I drug him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They changed the rhyme style and the patterns and cadence in hip hop.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The whole style changed during that era.
True indeed.
Yep. And everything else kind of just came after that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, tell us something, man. Did you see that Dilla documentary?
I didn't watch it yet, and I'm gonna tell y'all, and I will say this, and this is no disrespect to the Yancey family. I will leave it streaming over and over to make sure I support my people as I always done on the front line for Detroit, etc. Why I haven't watched it yet, I'm so blessed. I'm gonna big it up. It got real quiet in the room. Big up to Beej Gordy. Big up to Frank Nitty. Big up to Dank Harv. I got a Dilla Bible. I got your chapter of Dilla. If Jesus was a disciple, Jesus was, you know what I'm saying, had his disciples, Dilla's guy. You got young art. He taught everybody something. So without me watching the documentary, I got my own documentary in my heart. I got my own Bible of stories I can't really tell the public, but I got the story of Jay Dilla through DJ Butter. I got the story of Jay Dilla through countless great people. Like I used to build. I'm the type of guy when I was because I saw Met Slumville when I was 13.
Right.
And like they album before this fantastic album. See, I wasn't old enough to go to St. Andrews and all those venues, and yeah, I'm only 13. But I almost yelled at my mother because I just bought a Source. Big Pun had just died, and I seen Slum Village name right on the Common record. And I yelled like, "Ma!" She thought something was wrong with me in the back seat. I'm like, "Ma, I was just at school with Slum Village," because it was like I said, it was Dwelle the first day, and then it was like, it was Bach 10 and his boys the next day,
right.
And I won a battle in front of Bach 10. So with the documentary, I really work a lot, so I really haven't sat down and watched it,
right?
To be honest, you know what I mean. But before, I got a Dilla dictionary in my heart, bro. It's like I got the direct stories of the people who they're in. Not to brag or nothing, they only a phone call away. It's I got my own stories even as an adult, paying dues with Fat Cat, paying dues with Guilt. These are my family. I used to go to every Dilla event, and it's not even about rapping or trying to tell them boys I got this. It was just to be in the room taking shots of Tito with Fat Cat. You know, we chilling, we building. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about we.
I feel you.
Yeah, this is my family, the Yancey family. These guys are my family at this point. Illa J, we kicked it 2017. Detroit 2, we kicked it. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about Canada because he used to be out there in Quebec. You understand? So these is all. I could, if I wanted to, could make my own documentary. You know what I'm saying? Just off of man.
People like Fat Cat motivated me to do what I do, man.
Yeah, I'm just giving it. Bo Lamb is my guy. I could give you all the Dilla. Long story short, I can give you Dilla's personal group of friends, not no industry niggas. I could give you this nigga personal friends like Bo Lamb, Dank Harv, like his boys, his day one boys, and I get stories I can't really tell them about.
Right.
But that might even transpired on the documentary. So I'm really, you know what I'm saying? Big up to Beej Gordy too. Was unspoken legend hero.
Legend. One of Dilla's favorite MCs.
That's what I'm getting at. And these I could call what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? I wish he was here for this episode, but maybe we got to land him for another one.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah, I'll come back for that one for sure.
Dope.
Let them tell this out of the, you know what I mean? The lecture records with Busta Rhymes and shit like that. And where Dilla played in that too. You know, these are the stories I got from these cats. Dank Harv, he could tell you about the typewriter, and I said the nigga used to have a typewriter in school. I could tell you this without looking at it. I was getting these jewels before this documentary years ago. Like to have my own stories with them 20s of years ago. I'm an older man now, so to have my own stories with Dwelle 20 years ago, it's just a beautiful thing. I could call QD. You know what I'm saying? I think that's his first cousin. You know what I'm saying? All these great people, man. The thing about the J Dilla Slum camp, Frank and Dank, all these guys, the thing about that camp is that's a Wu-Tang in itself, not to take from their own identities, but that's so many different talents.
It's a big family tree, for real.
Some of the stuff I can't really disclose color of politics, but when you're dealing with that many great people, naturally they probably are gonna splinter off and do, you know, Dwelle might do his own thing, and you know, Kareem Riggins might go this way, and you know what I mean. So it's
Dilla, like he did what Eazy-E did to the West.
Yeah, for the West Coast, he did that for them for sure. Absolutely, he could imagine being in the same room with an Ice Cube and a Dre,
all in the same.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's
then that lineage. Yeah, you get to see all the people that came from that lineage.
I think as a Detroit hip hop artist, it's your right to go hard for them because Eazy-E didn't get to stay alive to see, you know what I'm saying, where they took
Easy died, what, 32?
30 young, 32, or Dilla died at 34.
32,
He couldn't see
32,
where his music. If you notice, the neo soul kind of faded off after he passed.
Yeah.
Detroit was even hard to get together because I remember trying to do my demos and all. I went to the Barack Entertainment offices at like 19, bro, and they already was about to, you know what I'm saying, Big RJ was gonna switch it up by then, RJ Rice, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Dylan never got to see where it could have went. To see how the young beat makers are gravitating towards him now. Dylan made them a whole genre of music. Gave them their own little subgenre for producers in them.
Right.
Man, what you want to see in the next 50 years in hip hop, man?
I want to see the generation now still hold it down, because this particular 50 years, these shows I'm gonna try to attend more, because Slick Rick in a perfect world may not be able to see the 100th anniversary. I would hope he could, but I would hope the Lil Yachty's and the Uzi Verts and all these, I would just hope they could, because it's looking kind of bleak with some of the hip hop compared to what I grew up on. It's looking kind of,
right.
You know what I mean? So I gotta even tiptoe around how the game really looks right now, but in 100 years, I would hope, because don't get me wrong, you got a Lil Baby who reminds me of a young spitter, but he got you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's still some people that can swing it, no doubt, like the veterans, but it's real. I would hope some of the ones that's solid for this generation, that they could be there for the next 50-year anniversary. Because we may not see, you know what I'm saying? I would hope to see like Slick Rick and them guys.
Do you think the younger generation is creating like their own culture out of it, to where this is going to be their golden age?
I wanted them to name rap. I wanted them to name what they doing now a whole new subgenre. I never got to disclose that till now, to this interview.
Okay.
So I feel like it just needs another name. It needs another subgenre name. What they doing now isn't necessarily hip hop. Yeah.
Rock and roll. Then you had
acid. You had grunge. You had grunge rock, heavy metal. Like
yeah.
So, give the sound that. Cause some of them, I'm sorry, it's like there's real. I'm just speaking from an honest place. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm more of an A&R, taking the executive producer role now. But a lot of the younger guys, I don't. It's not even the sound like old and bitter. It's just like the sound, and this needs a whole nother. It's rap, but it's not even rap no more. Certain rules, like it's too many informants in the rap game right now.
Rave rap.
It's kind of just give it a new, just give it a new name.
Informants.
It's not hip hop no more. I remember you had to make sure your rhyme didn't sound like the next rapper. It's too many of the same name. It's too many. So all y'all with the same name, and all y'all colored hair with the y'all.
You know what? I have to be honest though, because I hear that a lot. We had a lot of imitators back then. They just wasn't getting signed. Because a label, that was one of Nas' issues. When you hear those stories, people would be Cool like,
G,
nah, he sounds too much like Cool G.
But like now that's you see how it changed. Now that's the business.
The record labels want to copy what's
I want the new Lil Baby. I want the new,
Yeah, so back then it was like...
Rakim's, man.
Yeah, again, they wasn't getting signed, right. They wasn't getting the deal, like you saying.
The labels wasn't putting money behind it.
Or even better, it's a lot of, I say that to say this, it's a lot of Milli Vanillis in rap.
Yeah.
That was, so basically what you doing on TikTok, you mocking the song, that's what they did, and they got on.
The girl
you know. But see but look at these reels now. See, now you hit me to some shit. That's why the reels is 2 minutes looping like that, and boom, you a star.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, if we let a Vanilla Ice in, if we let him in, if Vanilla Ice was out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'll let a novelty. I remember when what makes the golden age, I was 3 years old still in 1990. Right? So I remember where you could gig a novelty group. Even as a teenager, when I would see such and such a boys, they gig on with their white tee for a little, and then that's it.
Yeah.
We would let them in because that helps the clubs, that helps the liquor companies. You know what I'm saying? I'm in work clothes now. This is a Remy Martin promo hat. I'm with y'all because I ain't at the club right now. You know what I mean? So I get where how about even this? I'm even in the club and I have to accept these records for what they are from an engineer standpoint. So now I got ears. I have to accept that rap sounds different from how I sound.
Right.
But whatever that sound is, can y'all name it something else? Can y'all?
Right.
Yeah, it's too much Milli Vanilli. They would let in the group for like one hot song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He be on Yo MTV Raps for like a year, and then
you know what it is. The bar just got lowered. I think like Soup mentioned this in a previous interview,
Big up
and
Soup
that's how Rock did. Because if you think about it, like rock and rollers, they used to really could sing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got that deep voice and the rah rah rah, and it became something else. But they didn't have to really know how to sing and do all that stuff. They ain't dance, you know what I'm saying? Right. They went to a whole something.
You get a pop record that's on MTV for like a year.
Yeah.
We was cool with that, but then we still had the culture. You still had, not to cut you up, in the 2000s, when I was coming up, you still had Common, Mos Def, Talib. You still had that hip-hop sound in the early 2000s.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now it's no conscious rap at all on a major platform versus that's what made hip-hop. What made hip-hop to me in the golden era was Rakim still is getting played at a club, and he's dropping knowledge on that record.
Right.
But it's over. I know you got some soul, bust a dance move, but
I would like to hear like Lil Baby on some Griselda beats though.
That's where I'm getting at. There's still a couple.
Slow it down, cause he be flowing, man.
There's a lot of new cats that's dope.
You know what? It's funny because every generation, I consider myself an old dude, right? And before going years back, when I was a teenager in my 20s, you heard all the older cats say, yeah, I like such and such. They all like Rakim or whatever. Now, our generation, everybody point to Lil Baby.
See, there's only one MC right now. That's crazy y'all said that. There's only one.
Everybody 35.
Ain't no MCs no more.
Baby. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
our reference. My era, I got a reference. I'm almost up there with you, more or less. You know what I mean? I'm going to be Big Neff soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think it you know what's weird is just the value of the music. If you would see those guys vinyl or CDs and you walk in the record store and see that whole...
Yeah, it was something.
It lost the value of the music when that was gone.
The physical, you walk in, you see the Def Jam promo posters, and it make you want to get this.
Man, and that's what I want.
Now you just gotta look at the album cover on your phone, and I mean that's cool. They got their own subculture with that too. The taglines, I get it, but it's something that's missing right now, and it's crazy. Y'all, I could only reference. We what we easily go to Griselda. Right. We go to that one sound that still reminds us a little bit of the past, but it's
nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgic, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you want them to look out for coming from?
Oh yeah, for me, I got a backpack series 1, 2, and 3. 3 backpacks on the way. Presented by DJ Butter. Big up B-Boy Reg. We might put some Funky Fresh in the flesh somewhere under that. We might get them the merchandise T-shirt. Yeah. But I got
inside the backpack.
We get it inside the backpack. You know, limited edition, and really it's more so the point of the backpack is for me to give more exposure to a lot of my artists. I just so happen to be off work right now, but a lot of my artists, I'm building the All Stars. You know, we all got our own identities. I started Nephew All Stars though. We all shine. We all stars. Right. You know, my young guys, Anti-Yash, Not Us K, Uncle Avenue, etc. I got Juice's management. We got, you know, we building a label without signing to a label. Big up Living Wealthy, Media Group, etc. Crazy Noise Productions. It's vintage vibe. It's all these crews and all these entities, and so I said, well, let me just do that music for the people, and then that opens the door for y'all to do y'all thing. More or less. So I mean, I'm gonna still have some albums on the way too. I still got some actual albums, but I'm really focused on this Backpack 1, 2, and 3 series presented by DJ Butter, Crazy Noise Productions. Man, big up everybody involved in it, man. Big up. I don't care if it's Dog Pound. I don't care if it's Outlaws. I don't care. It's everybody is involved with it one way or the other. Right. Because this is my first time I really got to really freestyle in the booth. And that's why my records wasn't working as a teenager. Because I remember trying to come up in the industry and they would try to make you sound a certain way. So you kind of writing around what they consider a structure of a song. And you had to have a hot 16 and all that. You know what I mean? So I'm more proud of these projects because now it's actually me freestyling. Not just what I'm seeing in real time in West Side Detroit, East Side Detroit. Just as I just kept being able to... Is there any MCs that's taking freestyling in the moment of the spur of the moment like that? Or are they can they be honest about their story and they, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all countless, I'm trying not to overdo y'all interview. I can give y'all countless true stories. So I could just give y'all stories on the rap tip. Metaphorically in the booth, I have to give y'all my struggle and my plight. and it just feels more honest now. So I could do albums from an honest point of view versus having to if I got trying to take a new Death Row when they had bought Suge's Masters in Canada, Liberty, Wide Awake Media in Liberty Village, they would try to make me sound like Wiz Khalifa at the time. They would try to make me sound like swag rap. You know what I'm trying to say? Right. So, but that's why I pay my dues. That's why I say, okay, well, let me not go to the fake Death Row. Let me start building with the real MCs from the real Death Row.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, but now as an A&R, I would just, as I'm A&R sessions, I was just going in the booth freestyling. I was putting 1,000 in the room with all these talented people I knew personally. So I said, well, instead of building a label, we building an entity of all our companies.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, indeed.
Conglomerate. Did you see Belly too?
It's what it was missing was it needs cinematography like Hype Williams' first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the only. So not saying Game was the hottest rapper at the time, right? But not saying he couldn't act. Some people will backlash him and say he couldn't act. No, but Game was he would have gave it an authentic vibe like DMX gave the first Belly. They just did. They should have had at least have Little X directed. Okay, if Little X studied under Hype Williams, because Little X may be in the credits for the first Belly, so Little X maybe should have did Belly 2 and gave it more. We picked the hottest rappers at the time, like how they did for Belly. They took everybody from Def Jam, and we could only get a project where it looked like a video because you got DMX, Nas.
Right.
Even though Nas wasn't on Def Jam till later, but you got Method Man.
Right.
Except, Rockefeller, a little bit of... Yeah.
Man, I appreciate all the promo you've been giving us.
Oh, indeed, man. It's more where that came from.
With hip-hop and the podcast, man, we appreciate you, Nefu Larock.
My guys, man, it's good. I'm good. Thanks again for the... Big up one more time for this 12 Tech Mob mixtape, man. Y'all don't understand. I had one of these in like 96 on my cousin's dresser, man.
I'm digging through storage. I found an extra.
I was asking Lynn Swan, what's the name of this one? I said at the beginning they got more,
Right. Shout out to the
Fly Skimmies as soon as you. I was like, yo, Lynn. No, you don't remember the name? All right. Yeah, big up, man. All the DJs.
Man, Daddy Riv, 12 Tech Mob. Shout out.
All of them.
Man.
King David. Oh, I got an Outsiders one too. Yeah. Big up King David. Y'all go get that. Good dope sell itself.
It's
DJ King
right
David.
Now. Shout out
DJ Butter, Pace One. Yeah. My producer, engineer, Thousand Master D. I forgot to, bring that. Yeah. It'd be so much transpiring. So when I step on the scene, I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh shit, my name is in the thank yous right there. Or it's in the A&R credit. And, all right, let me get up and go punch the clock in the cover. But yeah, big up everybody, man. Just
Real, man. Shout out.
Big up, big brother, Real. I'll give y'all one last story before y'all close out, man. Real, when I touched down, I seen Butter as soon as it was around my birthday month. I just so happened to touch down in Detroit, and I never forget. It's all happened. Everything we said at that meeting is all happening right now. You know what I mean? We spoke a lot of great things into existence, but Real made me a studio intern. So when I came and I touched down, I was passionate. I was inspired. And look at where we are now. You know what I mean? Right. To do the work I did with Art of Rock climbing with Bodie. Right. Me and Bodie forever friend. I just seen Bodie at the club the other day. We was just chilling like friends. I gave him some chicken. You know what I'm saying? Right. We just cooling like friends. You know what I mean? And I got, you know what I mean? I look like Scarface, Tony Montana washing there. They don't call me no dishwasher, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, so hopefully we can get a rock climbing too or something. But to piece of the action, all these great Detroit Butter gave you my first production credit on Eat Again 8. Big up to 1,000 again. Yeah, he mixed that session. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. All that, man.
Real on the set of
Real. Real made that BMF set with NASA. Big up Nate NASA. Yeah. Because of the outfit. We already was brothers, Nate NASA and guys like that. The outfit, Slow Smith and things like that. Eddie Stubble. I came home, one of the first sessions I had before I was in the studio with Real. I'm going to see Butter. He's with Ironic. Shouts Ironic. And Butters got Eddie Stubble smoked a whole pack of Newports and did a whole mixtape. Get Money and Sleep in the Park. He did that off a pack of Newports. And I was at the Cody with the bitch. And Eddie Stubbles from the outfit. Yeah. Big P hat, man. Yeah, I mean, big up Mossy Ski, etc. You know, we don't leave him out because he's more of the Bronx or no politics or like that. But big up all them legends, man. Just big up all my legends. I built my first interview around the legends because in order to study legends, or to be a legend, you got to study legends to become a legend.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Man, thank you, man. Rest in peace to Big Ox. Once again, man, thanks for wearing my T-shirt. Courtesy of Nefu Larock, man.
So many stories, man.
appreciate all the real hip hop you bring it to us, bro.
Man, I couldn't do it without y'all boys. Respects.
Funky Fresh in the
No.
flesh.
Funky Fresh in the flesh, y'all. We
Yes.
out.
We out. Respects.